I got so involved in Alara, even though I wasn't in the salon. So even while I was still concreting, my mindset was always like, how's the salon going today? Is it running good? Is business okay? Sort of thing. And it kind of got to a point where it was like, I don't want to do concreting anymore. I'd love to be more a part of the business and help it grow.
So I was just paused. As if we're getting calls on a Sunday. Favorite styling tip?
Favorite styling tip? God, okay. Always blow over your fringe forward. Before
That's so funny.
Before you do anything, when you get out of that shower, you brush that fringe or the hair forward and you dry that off first. Because if you have a cow leaf, I mean, forget it. And you can understand any European parent at that moment is absolutely not.
You're not a doctor? You're not a lawyer?
You need to go to university, you need to study, you need to be whoever these people tell you to be. And I think it's such it's just a cultural thing. I think it's your parents always want the best for you. Like I would always want the best for my children. Anybody watching this today who is, wanting to be the best hairdresser that they can be, trying to work out what salon's best for you, is this the career for me?
Hi guys, my name is George. I am the host of On the Couch and Alarah Hair Studio series. We are here on our first episode with Carla Tedesco, the proud mother, CEO, entrepreneur, creative director, the be-all, end-all of this place. So Carla, welcome.
Hello guys, thank you so much for having me today. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you so much for being here. All right, so Carla, can you tell us about your journey in the hair industry from the very beginning?
Absolutely.
Let's take it back. Take it back.
Take
it all
we'll
the way
go
back.
way back. I'm doing a hairdressing apprenticeship. And you can understand any European parent at that moment is absolutely not.
You're not a doctor? You're not a lawyer?
You need to go to university, you need to study, you need to be whoever these people tell you to be. And I think it's such it's just a cultural thing. I think it's your parents always want the best for you. Like I would always want the best for my children and whatnot. But it is so important that you do follow your dreams, and that's exactly what I do.
You are your own person at the end of the day.
So I left school, started an apprenticeship with the renowned Rock Ebony, and they were amazing. Like, completed my apprenticeship. They were honestly the reason for, or I guess who I am today is because of them, and I owe that to them. So thanks guys, if you are watching.
What I learned from that salon to take me to where I am today, it's the same thing. And we talk about it all that time. So I think working in a salon does that. It gives you that discipline that you actually need to then, and it's one of those skills that is just transferable. You can take it anywhere, do you know?
And I think what I loved about it, just immersing my full self at 15 years old, I mean, everything was exciting. Everything was just amazing. So I took everything on board, all these leaders and mentors, and a special mention to Daniela Barker. Like, she was such an inspiration to me, and again for the hairdresser that I am again today. So thank you, Daniela, if you're watching. Prove to my parents that she's serious. Like, it's not just a game for her.
This is actually
this is something she really wants to do. So they were so for me going off and doing then my own thing.
Well, I was going to say, this takes us to our next question. Yes. Can you tell us about the origins of Alara?
Yeah.
What is her story?
Yeah, this is probably my favourite beginning. There was so much more that came after that, but that moment for me, it was the reason it got, 21... Sorry, I just kind of lost my train of thought there. So 21, and I just knew what I wanted to do, and that was to have my own salon. And to build a team.
Amazing. So how did it go about?
So a really good friend of mine, we actually opened up Alara together. That was something that we did together, and it was amazing. We had an amazing couple of years together.
Who was your first employee?
Oh, wow.
Who was your first employee?
I think we had little Georgie here as our little shampoo. We've had so many amazing staff, past, present, and, thank you so much to everyone that's been a part of the Alara journey. But that's led us to this moment again. So
you really did it was almost like this dream. It's almost like when you say in the corporate world, like a startup. It was almost like this startup salon. You guys were like, we're doing this. We don't know what we're going to do, but let's just try and make it work. And it was really cool. It was really magical at the beginning, just like figuring it all out, I guess.
It was really magical. That's probably the most beautiful way to put it, because it was. I had no idea how to run a business. No idea. No idea. All I knew was how to do hair and how to be with people.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just had a dream and a vision, and I don't think anything was going to stop me from making that happen. And that's what we did. So we opened the doors to Alara. I think back then it was like a 5 to 6 chair salon. I don't even remember this. It was a beautiful, cute little space. It was just perfect for what we needed and what we wanted. I had a business partner that we then separated. We went our different ways. We just had different visions, and that was okay, you know, absolutely.
I think that's a very key important thing, that if you start off with a friend and then eventually you both just kind of drift off again because you guys just have different pictures. I think it's okay to do that, and I think it should be destigmatized, because a lot of people are like, oh my God, then this is going to be ruined, or do you know what I mean? And then I think a lot of people think that the dream's then going to completely end.
Absolutely. This thing for me was building an incredible team, and you know, I guess inspiring and motivating a team of people and leading a team of people. That was a real highlight, and is still such a highlight for me in business. Events in that has taught me so much, very much. But
amazing.
From that moment, we obviously then went our separate ways, and then not long after that, we took over the shop next door. So went from a 6-chair salon to then a 20-chair salon with 8 to 9 staff. And that was amazing. I think that moment there for me was just like, I can do this. I can absolutely do this.
So, that's so funny. Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living. That's what happens working mums. Let's say, keep rolling, B-roll. This is the B-roll. This is what it takes to create this.
Yeah. That's when my husband jumped on board. It's so from Parkdale, we then found a space in St Kilda. Cameron, my husband, found a space in St Kilda.
What made you think Parkdale to St Kilda?
Well,
were you guys just want to try and get in that area?
Well, we got to the point where Parkdale kind of outgrew itself, even with the second space. And we kind of said to ourselves, well, what do we do here? Do we stay put? Do we do what we're just doing, and that's okay? Or do we actually look for a bigger space for Parkdale, or do we go externally and potentially look at what else is out there?
Or anything like that.
And that's exactly what we did. Cam had found the space, and we went to have a look, went in for a cheeky little sneaky blow wave just to suss it out.
Undercover.
And I remember again, one of our employees that we then took on, once we took on St Kilda, Leanne looked after me during that service, and it was a really good way for me to gauge what was going on in that place, and fell in love with the space. Went home and I was like, Cam, it's amazing. We need this. This is so us. It's so on brand for who we are as a brand, and I think this could be the next stepping stone for us. And that's exactly what happened. And I remember we had our opening party. It was March. It was a Sunday in March, and we had the most amazing opening party. The following weekend, we then got shut down. And I remember even just sitting there with Cam, and even, you know, my bookkeeper's calling me in tears going, oh my goodness, Carla, Cam, what are we going to do? We have no idea what's to come, but we've got your back. Don't you worry. Everything's going to be okay. And I remember looking at Cam and going, I don't. And he's like, it's going to be all right. It's all going to be okay.
Wow.
So my management team, myself and Cam, we sat down and we created an education calendar for the whole of the lockdown. Every 2 to 3 days we had something. We had guest speakers, international guest speakers, national guest speakers, people that were inspiring, motivating, exciting.
I think that's kind of cool. Bring the hair, like, it's almost like the hairdressing world was like, well, how can we just help each other out? Like, we're all sitting at home. It's not like we can do clients.
Exactly.
Like, how do we go about this?
We sent out mannequin heads to all of our staff. I personally delivered mannequin heads.
So that's really funny.
I don't know if
can you imagine opening up a box and there's like a head in there? You're like, oh.
And then lockdown kind of was coming to an end, and we had to work out what we were going to do with the business. How are we going to open? What do we do? How do we go about it? So we opened up our online booking system at that point. And I remember it was October the 26th. We opened the booking systems because I had my management team on speed dial. Cam was on speed dial. I was on speed dial. The phones I knew were going to go off, and our online system was going to go off. And we sat there, and at one moment, there was over 3,000 bookings. And we came back, and our team was stronger than ever before. Skill-wise, technicality-wise, they were more excited, more motivated, and for us, that moment was huge.
So then how do we go from there to then thinking, okay,
What's next?
What's next?
Yeah.
What's the next big, the next big thing to do?
I think one thing about myself and Cameron is that we're never just comfortable.
Yeah.
We're always like, what's next
Yeah.
for us? What's next for Alara? What's next for our team? And Cam, with his bright ideas, his business ideas, was like, you know what, Carla? What about we find an incredible space, big enough to house all of our team under one roof and even allow for more growth? And I was kind of like, oh, that sounds cool. I'm all for the cool ideas. That's the way my brain functions.
Yeah. What inspires you the most as a leader in the hair industry? I mean, you're talking about what inspired you in the past, but I guess as now we've just spoken about you creating this space and, being this mother, so to speak, with all these team under you, you now have become a leader. So as a leader, what's inspiring you to keep going?
My biggest inspiration has always been and will always be my team. And there's a number of reasons for that, because without them, this isn't possible. Me, my biggest drive is my team and obviously my own children as well, to be the best version of myself and that they can look back on and say, that's my mum. I'm proud of my mum. That's my mum.
If that's something that's inspiring, what would be your biggest challenge that you face as a business, as a role model, as an educator? What are some of the biggest challenges that you faced along the way to get to where we are now?
There's been a fair few challenges, absolutely. Like obviously COVID was a huge one, not knowing what business was going to do for us or the industry. There's challenges within the team dynamic. There's always challenges within that and making sure that you are pivoting and growing from those moments and not just staying put.
Yeah.
Because it's in those moments that growth can truly happen.
Is it hard running a business, doing all the admin, then having to be on the floor doing the clients as well, and then obviously going back home to your own children?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
how do you manage all of that when you're running around?
I always say I've always felt I work better under pressure. I mean, I've got 3 kids under 2.5. I've got a team of 27 people. I mean, it's 24/7, and business is 24/7. So it's not something that, gets to 5 o'clock and you just switch off and go, okay, I'm at home now. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
And that's something that, any business owner will say. You walk out of these doors, the job's not done.
And then, because I know, there has to be downtime at some point. Otherwise, I feel like, do you not feel like you're burning out, or do you what's the downtime?
My husband will always say to me, Carla, you need to find a hobby. Find something,
Knitting,
whatever
crocheting.
whatever that is, find it because it's important to have. And I agree.
Yeah.
But my love is my passion, and my passion is hair, and that is here.
Yeah.
And that's where my heart is. And, when I'm at home, I'm with my kids and with my babies, and I'm a better mum because I am working and vice versa. So I want to state that I opened a business based on a passion. I had no idea about business. And I just kind of went through the weeks going, yep, it's just working magically. It wasn't until Cameron came in and he was like, Carla, you need to run a business.
Where did we get the name from? Where did Alara come from? Were there other contenders? Were there...
Alara, it was like naming a child, essentially. And I've grown to love the name more and more and more as the years have gone on for all different types of reasons. But Alara is my firstborn.
Yes, it's a beautiful name.
It's a beautiful name.
Were there any other strong contenders? Could this have been called, I don't know, something else?
You know what? No.
No.
And I've never even thought about if it wasn't called Alara, what would it be? Because I don't even know.
Education, how do you go about letting them find themselves in this space?
Oh my goodness. I always say to my team, if there's ever anything that I'm not doing, you tell me and we're doing it.
Yeah.
You just tell me.
Yeah.
It's important for the team in their own right to find what makes them tick, whether that's just cutting or colouring, or whether that's social media, or whether that's, behind the scenes more. Whatever makes them tick, let's work with that.
What does the future hold for Alara then? Well, what is your... We'll talk about a 10-year plan. We can even go with a 5-year plan. But what's the big scope? Let's just say in the next 20 years. What do you see? What do you see for this place?
Oh my goodness!
What's going on? Where are we going? Where are we taking this? This mothership.
100%. I feel like Alara is just warming up. We are just getting started. We are celebrating 10 years this year, which is huge. So amazing, 10 years for us, and for me to just say we're just getting started is pretty exciting.
10 years.
Yeah. I think a dream of mine was to always have my own salon. To this level, to this degree, I don't think I ever thought it was ever possible.
Yeah.
I did manifest it. Yeah. I did every day. I remember.
I don't doubt that.
I would sit there and I would say, I want to have one of the best salons in Melbourne or Australia.
Yeah.
And I mean, last year we were finalists for AHFA Salon of the Year, and for me that was a huge deal.
Amazing. Final big question I would say would be, what is something that you would love other aspiring hairdressers to know? What is something that you want them to know? People that are thinking about coming into the industry, people that are fresh, maybe they're at school and maybe they're thinking, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
What's something out there? They're looking at hairdressing, but they're still not sure. Or what would some piece of advice be to those people who are just thinking?
I think that if your heart is telling you something, you do that.
Yeah.
Follow your heart. Follow your heart always, because your heart will always lead you to the right place.
All right, speed round. We're going to take a sip. We're going to do a speed round. Cheers. We're going to do a speed round. All right, this can give us a little bit more about who is Carla, what is Carla. So speed round. What is your favorite, ready, hairstyle?
Oh, I'm loving that 90s blowout. It's just the curtain bangs, the effortless, sexy, hot.
Hair products.
Oh, Dream Coat.
Yeah?
Colour Wow.
Yeah?
Kevin Murphy, Anti-Gravity.
Just doing...
Sessions, Session Spray, Flex.
Name them all.
All of the above.
Favorite tool?
My GHD curve tong.
Yeah? Get in there.
Yeah.
Hair colour. Soft colour.
Look, a bit of a face pop I think is always beautiful.
Yeah.
So whether that's dark or light,
yeah.
it accentuates people's and everybody's natural beauty in some way.
And then if we go bold, what's your favourite light?
I'm loving a copper, strawberry copper at the moment.
Yeah.
Then a fiery engine red, they're coming back. And I love it.
Yeah. I actually have noticed that lately, so that's really interesting. Some of us have natural cowlicks and we have a lot of product to get that down. Okay, favourite client story?
Oh, favourite client story. Okay, I've got one that's just come to mind.
Yeah.
Beautiful client of mine. The Maisel sisters, Carney, Mel, if you're watching. I've been looking after them for many, many years. They've followed my hair journey from the very, very beginning. And so Carney had gone through a pretty rough, traumatic time in her life where she lost her hair. And it was all growing back after a little while, and she came to me and she said, Carla, what can I do with my hair? And I mean, at that point, it was probably like a pixie cut, so it was quite short. And I said, let's make something happen. Let's do something that's just going to be beautiful.
Hey guys, welcome back. We are here with Cam Tedesco. Woo!
Hi, Georgie.
The daddy of the salon, so to speak. We're going to jump right in, get started. So Cam, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So we know that you are Carla's beautiful husband. When you were faced with the choice to leave behind your career and start anew with Carla, what was your thought process and what did your life look like at that particular time?
Well, back then, at the time, I was in concreting, in commercial construction, and
Big jump.
it's a huge difference in lifestyle. So when Carla and I started to get quite serious, we ended up. I'm from the other side of town, so when I moved to this side of town, we're actually living out of a spare bedroom at a grandmother's place. My lifestyle was quite hectic and busy. Then when Carla and I started getting a little bit more serious, there were a lot of problems that arose with her business financially. So I took a lot of my weekends and a lot of my time learning and trying to find ways to adjust to help her business out. Which was realistically, from like a spending point of view, was the Louis Vuitton handbags and the business class flights and that. And I was like, well, this can easily be changed and shifted around to have a more financially successful business. So I spent probably a good 18 months to 24 months
just like working on the books.
like behind the scenes before anyone even knew I pretty much existed. So.
And then so obviously you're doing the behind the scenes, you're figuring it out. And then I guess what moment was it like, okay, I'm going all in?
It got to a point when I was sort of like, from a financial point of view, is like, I'm putting in all these hours to get X at the end of the week.
Yeah.
why don't I help Carla actually be more profitable and take a wage from Alara and give myself the availability and freedom, if you would, to be able to work on the business more. So it was a massive pay cut. But it was a better lifestyle.
Well, what have you learned over these past years as a business owner that you find interesting or compelling to tell somebody else?
It's difficult, but it's rewarding. Being in construction my whole life, thinking I was that tradie, that sort of view on my lifestyle, where to now it's like I absolutely love, and I feel like I never unleashed that passion of business-minded side. It's that whole entrepreneurial aspect on life, owning a business and making sure that it functions financially correctly. Like I thrive off that every day. The staff work-life balance, having a fun, unique, safe and creative space for people to come and learn. The salon, Alara, doesn't exist if it wasn't for the staff. And I think it's the culture
just giving
that Carla has made in Alara that makes it so successful. So that's one of the obstacles, and then obviously it's just business and financial obstacles. There's always, it's business. People don't see it on the other side, but there's always ups and downs. So just keeping financially afloat and finding new avenues to sort of go down to keep it always interesting and new, I guess.
Oh, well, and lastly, this will be our final question. What is it in your mind that makes Alara Alara, and can that be replicated?
What makes Alara Alara? I mean, it's just a unique salon. I think Carla makes Alara Alara. I think the way she brings the crew up, the girls and guys that get training and brought up through Alara. I mean, can it be replicated? Who wants to replicate it? You know what I mean? Like, can our business model be replicated? Absolutely. Can it be used to improve other people's businesses, whether in the hair industry or not? Sure. But why replicate? Why not be your own unique self, I guess, if you're trying to start off a hair salon or be in the hair industry?
I love that. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here.
No worries. Thanks for having me, mate.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.